we've got some info here from the Wall Street Journal, because what Biden is doing is just compounding the problem over and over again. Let's get to it. President Biden is scrambling to contain soaring oil prices, which closed at more than $123 a barrel on Monday. It speaks volumes about his administration that it's seeking help from Vladimir Putin's client in Venezuela and our estranged Saudi allies rather than U.S. shale producers or Canadian friends. That's right. That's right. Come back to me for 1 second. Yes, because now Russia is bad guys. We going to Venezuela because suddenly they're good guys. Okay, let's keep going. The Trump administration in early 2019 sanctioned Venezuela's state oil company, PDVSA, to squeeze Nicolas Maduro's brutal regime, which has impoverished the country, persecuted political opponents, and sent millions of refugees across the region. Come back to me for just a sec. But we're cool with that now because they're not Russians, so it's all good. We'll buy your oil. Okay. But Venezuela continues to pump about 800,000 barrels a day with help from Russia and Iran. The Venezuelan has returned the favor by supporting Mr. Putin's war on Ukraine and denounced the West's economic war against the Russian people. Come back to me for a second. So you see what's happening here. We're buying, or we're going to buy gas from Venezuela, who are kind of in cahoots with Putin in the first place. But okay, let's keep going. Axios also reports that the president is considering a personal visit to Saudi Arabia to patch up relations with the crown prince, whom Mr. Biden has made a show of disdaining when he took office. At the same time, the administration has been seeking rapprochement with Iran, which backed the Houthis in Yemen, waging war against the kingdom and United Arab Emirates. So, you know, these are all great people that we'll be working with, you know, because Putin bad. I get it. Putin not good. You can't just invade a country. I mean, all right, joking aside for a second, you can't just invade another sovereign nation. You can't. And he's killing all sorts of innocent people. I don't want to diminish that, actually. But this idea that we're pivoting to all the other bad people, some of whom are funding some of the stuff in Russia in the first place. If this was a script, you'd go, man, it's just too obvious. Like, it just shows their incompetency just too well. Here's Fox News' Peter Doocy, who's an actual journalist. We got to get him on the show. Can we get Peter Doocy on the show? Do we have a phone number or an email address? Let's get that guy. Talking to Jen Psaki about the Keystone XL pipeline and what happened there.
There's this talk about a possible forecast for financial pain, particularly at the gas pump for Americans. The president said today, the notion that this is going to last for a long time is highly unlikely. Would he try to ensure that by lifting some of the restrictions that he's put in place on the energy industry or rethinking some projects like the Keystone pipeline?
Well, first of all, the Keystone pipeline is not flowing, so I'm not sure how that would solve anything. There's also plenty of oil leases that are not being tapped into by oil companies, so you should talk to them about that and why. But what the president's talking about is we certainly understand, and he said this today, right? May have been in response to your question, I don't remember. But if there's an invasion of another country by a big country, there's going to be impacts on the markets, right? And we certainly anticipated that, and we anticipate that as it relates to the global oil market as well. So that's why the president for weeks now has been engaging with a range of big global suppliers, some in the Middle East, others, to see what we can do to ensure there's supply out there in the market to reduce the impact on the American people.
All right, Psaki, you're making me do it. I'm putting on the newsman glasses to make a point directly to you. You are a horrible, horrible, soulless person. I don't understand how someone for a living could lie about literally everything. Your existential crisis must be massive. And I know you hate yourself. We can see it. We can see it on your face. We can see it. The line there, when he's basically saying, Doocy, and why are they all wearing masks? I have no freaking idea. Doocy, take off the mask. I like you, dude, but take the mask off. The line, he's basically saying to her, hey, why don't we do something about that Keystone XL? Because, you know, that thing would bring a lot of gas from Canada. We wouldn't be so reliant on Russia or Venezuela or et cetera, et cetera. You get what's going on here, lady? And she goes, the Keystone pipeline isn't flowing. Yes, no shit, Sherlock. You people shut it off.